And we are live. Today I have my very good friend from the Instagram handle of Bearded. Good to have you on. How's it going today?
It's going good there, guys. How you doing?
I think things are going good down here in the valley. So the good thing about me and Mr. Bearded is that we live in the same state.
Yeah.
So we were both Arizona. Now, are you native or are you?
No, I'm originally from California.
From Cali. A lot of people from Cali. Yeah, especially up where you're at, Prescott Valley.
Yep.
A lot of transplants. When I was growing up, my uncle was the minister at the Presbyterian Church in Prescott.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, and that was when it was, like under maybe 20,000 people were there. Prescott Valley was just a thing you passed through on the way to Prescott.
Yep, all dirt roads back then.
Yep, absolutely. So now Prescott Valley, for people who want to go look it up, it's a huge, thriving community. It has theaters, it has restaurants. You work around the way from one of the restaurants up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have Bearded Zebra on. Thank you for joining us, Bearded Zebra. Yeah, we've been, it's been, I love Prescott. I just absolutely love it.
Yep.
I was telling you a little bit earlier that we used to have an antique booth up there, but I used to go when my aunt lived up there, we would go up there fairly often.
Mm-hmm.
And It was a break from Phoenix. It was a nice break from Tucson or Phoenix. So I'm actually a native, even though I was a military brat up until 18.
Yeah.
And we lived in England. We lived all over the world a little bit, but Tucson was where I was born. Same hospital as my mom. I think I'm fourth generation Zoni.
Yeah.
Yeah. We grew up, so my family owned a farm south of Tucson near Sierra Vista.
Okay.
And so that is where they started. And then my granddad was actually a homesteader in New Mexico, a free range. He was actually a free range guy turned homesteader, then worked in Douglas. So that's how our family kind of got here from the 1800s. But Arizona has been my home for now since 18. I went to NAU, lived up in Flag. And then my first daughter was born up in Flag. And then, now, how long have you been in Prescott Valley?
I lived in Prescott Valley, I think 5 or 6 years now.
Yeah, nice.
I lived in Chino since I was 8. So.
Yeah. And that was when Chino was not even Chino. It wasn't that big of a place. It was just the place near, kind of it was the airport that was there, right?
Yeah, the airport was there, barely.
Right. And Embry-Riddle was there. That was the big claim to fame for that Chino Valley for a long time.
Yep.
Yeah. Good times. So a couple questions. What got you into the bearded game? What were you, what was up with, how did you get involved in, you have your own review stuff that you're starting up.
Yep.
How long have you had a beard? Tell me a little bit about your beginnings.
So I started growing a beard as soon as I could grow one, 18, 19. And then I would just go through phases, but I never actually took the time to care for it. So it would get, I guess, as most people know, itchy and unmanageable,
Yeah.
And you just shave it off. And you're like, man, I don't know if I like the baby face anymore. So you grow back out, and then you just kind of go through the phases,
Yeah.
Well, I hate my baby face, so I was like, man, I'm gonna start growing it out again. And I'm like, I really want to take care of it though. Start seeing what's in the, for beard care. I kind of knew about oils, but I never really delved deep into it before now. So.
Yeah, it's awesome. So we have Mr. Bearded Blonde who has joined us. Thanks for coming on in. We appreciate it. And that's awesome. See, and that's what's so cool. What I didn't realize there was like this brotherhood piece that I kind of joined Instagram on, right?
Yep.
I thought bearded stuff was like, okay, it was trendy 4 or 5 years ago. I thought, the trend will end and, things won't be going on. I've been growing facial hair since I was probably able to grow it, and it was really late, like 20s.
Yeah.
So I had a mustache for a long time, and then I started growing. I've had at least 15 years I had the goatee.
Yeah.
Then started experimenting with sideburns and,
Yeah.
I had like I didn't have lamb chops, but I had the chin strap going on for a
Yeah. I
while.
always do that too for a long time.
Yeah. So, and then what the problem is exactly like what you're saying is that you got to this state to where if you grew it out any longer, it became so itchy. You're like, I gotta get rid of it. Moving on.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
And then when somebody probably about a year ago was like went to New York and was one of my other buddies was growing a beard and said, hey, one of my buddies at work gave me this little thing of beard balm.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I was like, that smells awesome. It was a cologne from some company out of New York.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that smells so good. Wow. And so then that started my journey right there. That was it. And then now it's been, just a year, but I was so glad that I found something. I didn't even know this was like a thing.
Yeah, me neither. See, mine started getting so bushy, like on the sides. I hated that look. There's always that awkward stage, you start getting longer and your sides just start bushing out.
Right.
And, so I started looking on YouTube, and of course, as most people, Dan C, official beard tube, no BS beards. So, and that's how I learned about all these companies. Well, I was looking for something, local, and of course, Walmart and Honest Amish.
Yep.
So I picked the balm up first, and it was good stuff. It works. But as everybody notices on that stuff, the black licorice. If you don't like black licorice, that's not for you.
Yeah, you have to be like really into that. And weirdly enough, is I like black licorice, but not in mass amounts. And then later I heard that there's reasons why, because your stomach actually can't digest it properly. It's like there's some problems with it, but it's also good for you at the same time. But I have never, honestly, this is the weird thing. I will admit, I have not ever tried Honest Amish or Honest Amish. Long day.
Right.
So yeah, it's crazy that that's totally what it is. Let's see, I got the Scotch Porter. So Bearded Blonde saying I got the Scotch Porter scent, and the Lollapalooza scent is fire. Interesting.
Right.
Is that from? I guess is that Scotch Porter's new stuff?
Yeah, they're seasonal. I think right now they got 4 new scents.
That's interesting because you know what? Most people I know say, as we all know, Dan promoted the heck out of Scotch Porter and some of the other folks about the conditioner and maybe the leave-in conditioner, but everybody's always told me that the oils are just not that good. Maybe they've reformulated them.
Yeah. See, I've always heard good things about the beard conditioner. So I got the beard wash in the conditioner just to try them out.
How do you like them?
Oh my God, that conditioner is fantastic, man.
Yeah, there's no words. That's a total game changer.
Have you tried it? The conditioner?
Yeah, I own it. Yeah.
Yeah, I picked some up during the sale. I actually picked up the 4-pack that they have going on sale right now.
The bundle?
Yeah, $40, man.
You can't beat it. You just can't beat it. And the conditioner is so good. So anybody who's a new beardsman who may be seeing this at some time, I think they're the standard for co-washes. Just the standard.
Also, too, is if you watch one of the official beard tube, he was saying maybe just for him, but he's had fewer beard loss using Scotch Porter conditioner or while using it,
I think it hydrates, right? It hydrates, and that's the big thing is that it's so you feel so hydrated after and so soft.
Yep.
Just after using that, you don't even put the beard oil in yet, and you feel that distinct difference. And and to me, if you're going to do a beard wash, you need to do a conditioner just like your hair.
Yep.
And I stick to I've done some different beard washes or beard co-washes or co-conditioners. Actually, I
Hmm.
sat with Texas Barn Brand Beards for a while. He has
Hmm.
that. He has a couple out that they're pretty good, honestly.
Right.
And so I've been really happy with them. What else have you tried in that area?
Let's see. I don't know if you saw that little video I did on the washes I've tried, but I have the Husky Beard,
Mm-hmm.
the wash and co-wash.
Yep.
That stuff's really good. I really like it. The Grave Before Shave, the wash
Good.
and co-wash. Um, Stuff's really good too. I've tried the sample size of the Badass Beard Care
Oh,
wash.
yep. Yep, I've done that. That's actually pretty good. Yeah.
And for me, I don't really care for was it the eucalyptus or the tea tree scent in it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a good stripping wash for when you need
Oh,
to start over.
no, that's pretty good. So we have some people saying that Detroit Grooming, another standard,
Yes.
their beard poo,
Yep.
uh, totally. I mean, there's definitely a game changer there. And Mike honestly is on his game there.
Oh
They're
yeah.
a bigger company, but Mike is kind of the head of that.
Yep.
And I believe that Mike has it down. And he also, what I really like about him is he is really testing to make sure it's good product as well.
Hmm.
And he went through several iterations of his of these places or shampoos and co-wash before he was able to say, hey, I don't, because it was separating on him and he was making sure that it was positive, right? Oh, you got
Yeah.
the hat. Nice, man. That's awesome. That's
Yep.
Detroit Grooming is like, I have honestly been sitting with smaller companies, trying to get smaller companies, maybe a couple big ones. Like I went early on. I went with Beard Octane because of Dan,
Hmm.
um,
Hmm.
and that's a really good standard, honestly. If you go with, and they have a really good butter, they have good washes as well.
Right.
I had their LFW, and
Yeah.
my son actually was using that,
Hmm.
and he loved it. And I had another son that thought that it was good for his hair, so it
Hmm.
disappeared overnight.
Right.
But so you said you done Husky. Did you know Husky was here in the Valley?
Oh yeah, yeah. I actually watched. I think BeardTube, and I caught on the bottom of their tins, their bombs, where it said Queen Creek. I'm
Mhm.
like, really? They're in Phoenix? I had not a clue.
Yeah. What is Beard Zebra saying? He is saying Beard Gents coffee, but you don't need a co-wash. It's crazy. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Thanks for. So that's I've been seeing Beard Gents around, and I've
Hmm.
been interested to check them out. I saw him on several Instagrams. What I like about him is that as an owner, he's really forthcoming and transparent about where he's at as a business and trying to just be honest and promote, what he has. And I like that. You can DM him, and it
Hmm.
sounds like he's fairly personable. I haven't really chatted with him, but I totally appreciate his live streams with JOFM, which is one of my favorite ones as well. Have you tried them out?
No, I have not, but I got such a long list of company, like I'm sure everybody else does, that just a list. And I'm like, man, I'm gonna try them and them and them.
I totally know what you're saying.
Slowly crossing them out.
Yeah, I totally hear what you're saying because my experience is that, and that's, I had to pick something, and I said, what is my niche that I'm going to really try to do? And me and Barbado Joe kind of talked one night, and I was like, I think both of us like to go with some of the smaller guys
Hmm.
just to kind of get somebody out. I've gone with a couple Dan suggestions over the last year,
Hmm.
and done reviews because I just did Aleph Mail.
Yep.
And that was
So,
a one that he reviewed, but I got into him because I heard the spiritual game, and Andy's all about that. So
right.
and I really liked them. They were excellent product. I was very happy I tried them out.
Hmm.
And that right now I'm going with a really small company. I saw like instantly on Instagram that All Things Earthly.
I don't think I've
They're
heard of them.
yeah, check them out. They are interesting. It's so the storyline is she is a female barber in her town in Maine, and it's like the middle of nowhere, Maine.
Okay.
When I was talking to her about doing a live stream, she says, I don't think my internet speed is good enough to do a live stream. I said, okay, that's fine. That's fine. You know, I'll go with it. And then but I started getting her products. I got a good sample pack. They had all 7 of her scents, including one of them was unscented, but 6 of them were scented. I got her Nag Champa is just a bundle or
Hmm.
combo of, and then she threw in Midnight Joe because she said, I really want you to try this. Holy moly. Like for
Good
small
stuff.
companies, there's occasion where I'm just like, man, it's okay. You know, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's not great. It's not bad. Like most
Right.
companies, you're going to like some of the scents, some of them you're not. I have not yet found one for this small of a company that I don't like.
Are they all
I
are they all unique scents then?
all of
Or
them,
are they
all
yeah.
of them are like all very unique. I felt that every single one. I mean, I have one in today that is. It reminds me exactly of the American by Live Bearded.
You know, I've only tried their butter a couple times, so I don't know exactly what their stuff is like. I don't know their scents that well.
Yeah, so I have only. So we live, just down the street from us. So they live in Scottsdale, or
Hmm.
they're from Scottsdale. Yeah, and
Yep.
actually, one of the owners, I think Anthony is from Anthony or the other guy with the handlebar. He's from Prescott.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, and
Scott.
so
Scott. Is
yes,
that his
yep,
name?
yeah. So I think that's his name. He lives up in Prescott, and so I went down there because I was like, guys, I cannot get any butters or balms during the summer. I It just wasn't happening. I ordered some Beer Justice
Hmm.
balm, and his stuff is exceptional. And it melted, like, and then I bought another one that melted, and I was just like, it's just Arizona. I can't, and it sits in my mailbox for half a day,
Yeah.
and I was
You know
just
what they
like,
say fixes that is putting it in your fridge or freezer for like 4 to 6 hours or something like that to help harden it back up.
you're absolutely right, and that's
Yeah.
exactly what I did. And you don't even, and believe it or not, I thought I would get some of that crystallized stuff, which is not a really big thing for me anyway, but I
Mhm.
have yet to have any problems since I did that. But I also found my trick, which is have a PO box.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
Dan is on, I think. So Dan C has joined us, or at least he's flashed on, maybe flashed off. I don't know. But so anyway, yeah, I I had that experience. So that's exactly that's what Beard Justice told me too, and
mhm.
it worked. But I was like, but I didn't like it. Kind of came out of the cap a little
Yep.
bit, and I didn't want that to be something I was presenting
Right.
as their product because it was not their fault that they're shipping to Arizona.
Right. Well, see, I ordered from uh, Grave Before Shave, and in their butters, or it said put in fridge or freezer, have melted. Which, of
Wow.
course, mine was never melted, so I never had to worry about that.
Right, right.
But,
So Dan is on. So Dan is, of course, one of, I think, both. I don't know if you've talked to him before,
oh yeah.
but
Oh,
he's an awesome guy. He really is. He's down to earth. He's one of those people that if you're not watching his show, you're missing out. And I also know his friend Mayor Steve,
mm-hmm.
and he's an awesome guy too. So they're both teachers. And so what I really like is my family is all teachers. So my bio dad, I call him bio dad, and he probably will love that after he sees this. But my bio dad and my stepmom both teach in the Valley, or taught in the Valley, and so I have that familiarity with the whole teaching thing. It's totally fun to be able to just chat with, especially Steve. So he's a science teacher.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, and I totally love that. And then Dan's a history teacher. So I love history. So I just love to relate and hear some stories.
I failed history so hard.
You probably didn't have Dan as a teacher. That's probably why. Dan sounds like one of those teachers. I had a couple history teachers in middle school that made such a difference. And they were just excellent history teachers, to the point to where you're like, I am just all about this. I love history because of those guys, and they just kind of led the path for me. And I can see that that's the kind of person that Dan, I think, is too. I mean, it's just it's cool to inspire people, but to have energy and be exciting is another level of teaching. Because, it sounds like even he used to get, and I don't know if he still has a lot of his students on now, but he used to get tons of just students just going on his live stream because he was so, just exciting to watch. It's cool stuff.
Yeah, I think like back in middle school, math, I had a good teacher and I always excelled in that class, in his class, and then as I went through the grades, I hated math.
Do you know what's funny is that sometimes you do really good in a subject that you really don't care for.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. So I was in like Math Honor Society. I was in all advanced classes, and somehow, honestly, my job ended up being math. Because I'm now a statistician. That's what I do as an engineering job. I really do a lot of stat work. But it's interesting because I really didn't want to do anything with it. I'm a hospitality major.
Right.
So I graduated from NAU and it was hotel restaurant management. And that's what I thought I was going to do for the rest of my life. I thought I was going to be a restaurant guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what do you do right now currently then, as far as work?
So I have been for the last 22 years with a company called Choice Hotels International. We currently own something around 6,500 hotels worldwide. We're the Comfort Inns, the Quality Inns, the Clarions, the Ascend. We have a new Cambria Suite brand. Some really cool hotels and resorts that are in our lineup coming in and stuff like that. But we also are those motels along, the Comfort Inns, Comfort Suites. That's I think what we'd say our flagship brand is Comfort. But yeah, what are you doing for a living?
So I work for a company, Print Pack, and we make plastic bags for cereals, chips, candy bars, anything that requires a plastic bag, stuff
Oh, that's cool.
McDonald's, their onion, all kinds of stuff, pancake mix. So if you're buying a bag of cereal out there, any of you guys, I probably made that bag from General Mills.
That's crazy. That's awesome. And then there is Mr. Brett. So Dan is saying that passion is everything. Passion is contagious.
Yep.
And I would agree. And what I like about it, I think this is the one thing you pick up from Dan, Scuba, who's funny, and any of the other reviewers like us. We have a passion for this, and we're a little newer, but that's what inspired me, was the fact that we had really good reviewers doing this, right?
Exactly.
And that's huge. That's huge. So you do plastic. That's amazing.
Yep.
So do you make? So how do you make the plastic bag and then they put the labeling on it at the manufacturer, or you're putting the labels on too?
We do. So it's hard to describe it. It's a big old white film, say 46 inches wide. And we do all the printing on it. For say cereal. We do the Reese's printing on it, and then what I do is I cut it down to size for them and then ship it out, and all they do is fill it and seal it.
Oh, that's cool. That is so cool. I absolutely love that. And the interesting thing about manufacturing jobs is that they have a lot of commonalities with IT, believe it or not. The process that you have to go through to manufacture is very similar to the process that we follow in IT, because you're creating something. It's the same kind of thing that we think about in the beard oil game.
Right.
Or beard, the beard game. There's a lot of people that have to have that design option, like what am I going to do? What am I going to make?
Yep.
So that creative inspiration that comes for them. And then they have to, once they get into past the research piece where they're, maybe QAing their stuff to make sure it's good quality, putting in good products, hopefully. And then they're doing manufacturing steps, and that is something that you can that's repeatable over and over again. And that's something that's so important that when you talk to people like Dan, has that bigger company, which we don't know who it is yet. It's a surprise, but they have to have that manufacturing process down to a T, or they don't do business. And so they have it down. They have the research down. They have the, the process cut into places. I took there's a and I if you I Blackbeard Trading Company. His day job is something that me and him have very commonalities with. It's called Lean Six Sigma, and it's basically taken from manufacturing, and it's process management for me, it's IT wise, but it's that process management, which is exactly probably what you experience, is making sure that product is done a certain way. That's why they have the lines and the things like that, to make sure that it goes properly. And then being able to alleviate waste and coming up with things like steps that will forego, maybe they can do some automation, something that will help them get their product out to quicker without errors. Because then there's the part. Yeah, and Lean Six Sigma is like 99.999. So it's like the percent accuracy of being able to get to that level is through is what manufacturing is, especially big manufacturers like what you're talking, like where you work. And then being able to, I highly always suggest, and this is my preachy bit, is that you take those type of experiences, those type of fundamentals, and apply it to your business. And that's how you start getting successful. It's not going to be overnight, but having that in your head that I have to be able to produce this at bigger quantities than I am now. And how am I going to do that? And so, and that's where you find people like Live Bearded. That's why you find people like Beard Brand out there being able to do these warehouses full of warehouse. When I went to Live Bearded, it was a warehouse. It wasn't. They're doing quantity. They're doing quantities of data. Quantities. It's not, and there's nothing wrong with small. And I am definitely not talking about small batch. Nothing bad about it. I enjoy local companies. I enjoy the small batch process. Some people are just not interested in getting any bigger than they are, and that's perfectly fine. And you are more power to you in that. But if you want to get bigger, if you want to get bigger and do it at a bigger scale, then you start having to get into some manufacturing principles.
Automation and things to streamline.
Yeah, and that's when you start talking labs. Dan has a big point on hitting up on making sure you test your products, which is so hard for some. I mean, the money, a lot of people would be like, hey, it's a lot of money, but it's, to be honest with you, and this is a lesson from the restaurant business. If you do not have the process down and you don't have the testing, you could possibly be sued and lose everything you have.
Oh yeah.
It's scary. And that's what I think that people forget when they talk to. That's where manufacturing is such a good story, especially a big manufacturer like what you're talking about. They have to do the quantity that you probably roll through. How many bags do you think you run through in a day? It's like millions, probably, or thousands at least.
So we probably do, just like what I do, probably 220,000 feet a night, 12-hour shift.
That's crazy.
So between all the machines, that's probably 2 million feet a night or a shift. You know.
That's crazy. But you have to be able to have the machinery and stuff like that at that level. I mean, that's
Hmm.
just tons. And it's unfathomable how fast and how many bags, how much stuff is made.
Yeah.
And is it hands off for you for the most part? There's nobody doing anything manual anymore. It's just like watching the machines and making sure they run right.
Uh, there's still some things that are like hands on, but for the most part, they're getting more into the automated. So less
No,
hands
that's
on.
awesome.
We're
Yeah,
getting
and that's kind of
robots
the
in
way
there.
the nature is. That's the nature of the beast. Even IT runs into that. If they can automate something, they will.
Oh, of course. It just you, you know, we can only go so fast as humans. We'll get
Right.
tired. And 12 hours are a long shift.
12 hours is a long shift. So my son Joey was working at TRW down here for a bit, and they make airbags.
Hmm.
And he was just saying the quantity of airbags that roll through that place is astronomical.
Yeah,
And you
it's
have to
wild.
have your stuff down, and that's where you can really see, like, if as a business. And that's why I try to, at first I was trying to make some videos on this, and then I just actually just enjoy doing the interviews like we are now.
Hmm.
So interviewing beard companies and beard community members and beard reviewers is all about what I'm at now. But when
Right.
I was like, I can add what I've learned in 20 years of IT engineering, and I have a master's degree,
Hmm.
thinking that I could bring that to businesses. And I still have we have these chats now, but I think that there's a big space to, and that's what I think is amazing, is that manufacturing had it down way before IT did. If you think about Smith and Wesson and some of the ways that they created those lines to make multiple, and especially without defects, that's the other piece.
Well, see, I used to work for Ruger too, down here
Oh yeah, I know they're
for,
out there. Yeah,
for a few years, 5 years. So
that's pretty
yeah,
cool. Now, what
went
were you
back.
doing? You were manufacturing pistols, I take it.
Yeah, I was working on the Mark III, Mark
That's
III, Mark
awesome.
IV. So
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, and there is so much potential to, and then they have to follow the same exact principles as probably the job you have now.
mhm.
Probably it's machinery. It's maybe, are you fixing machines, or are you just making sure that they're
I'm just running them, run the
just
bags up.
running them?
Yep. What
Cool.
customer specifications basically, and then palletize and send them out.
Yeah, that's awesome. Wow, it's
So
a good job. It's still a good, it's a great job.
yeah.
And those are the things that I think that is so important, is those commonalities between so many people's lives. Um, you know, I think that manufacturing IT is very similar because we're producing products. It's just
Mhm.
software.
Right.
They all have to follow that same principle. We all have those very same experiences about, hitting deadlines and
Oh
making
yeah.
sure that we have to create something. At work, we have some deadlines that we're trying to hit currently, and knowing that there's a drop dead date, you got to get all this stuff done by then, and it doesn't seem like we have enough people, we don't have enough time. Just
Yep.
always like that.
Yep. So has your beard ever affected where you work?
I've been working for the same place for 20 years, so no. And I never asked. I know that now, because it's more trendy, I think that people are staying on board
Hmm.
with, beards. I think that that is it seems like it's more acceptable now. And I think that the bigger beards are even, those are, I see tons of those. I remember the first guy I saw with a big beard at work was my friend Aaron.
Hmm.
And I was like, wow, he's had one for a while now. And I was like, is that the trend thing now? He has yeah, I mean, it's a good sized beard. And I was just like, that's a nice, that's awesome that he's able to, and choice, and my job said nothing about it, but we're kind of a diverse company. We're a hospitality company. So it's, a
You work
lot
with
of,
people directly?
I don't work with hoteliers anymore. I used to. I'm now, believe it or not, that guy behind the scenes that makes
Right.
sure your website is up.
Mm.
And that I'm pushed into the monitoring so I'm monitoring and alerting on problems with systems,
Okay.
application side, website side, network
Mm-hmm.
side. So yeah, quite a bit of
Right on.
a little bit of everything.
Yeah. See, the nice thing about manufacturing is you don't work with the public directly. So, um, beard hair or beards,
Oh,
isn't really a
right,
big
right.
deal. So you're not worried about public appearance or anything like that.
Yeah, when you also live in Prescott. So Prescott, for anybody who doesn't know Prescott, it's kind of north of Phoenix, probably about 100 miles, maybe a little less, maybe 80.
Hour and a half.
Um, hour
Yeah.
and a half from Phoenix, and it used to be a really small, sleepy town. Maybe now it's 120,000 people.
Yeah.
So it's bigger, but it is still has that small town feel to me every time I go
Oh,
up
very much
there.
so. Yeah.
And so a lot of people know everybody. You
Yeah. Yeah.
you hang out anywhere. You go down to, I always go to what is Gurley's, the
Girly
bar and
shop.
grill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, that's like our place. So we used to do the pub crawl down there, actually. So just
I'm a
side
whiskey
note,
lover.
Andy used to go to we used to do that St. Patrick's Day pub crawl.
Oh my God. Yep.
And we
Yeah.
did it every year for like 7 years. It always end up at whose bar was that? It's not the Palace, but it's just one of those other like cowboy bars that's in there.
Like Matt's Salon.
Matt Saloon, that's where it ended. I was like, wait a
Yeah.
second, I knew it's so Matt Saloon is where it always ended, but we would go to the 20 different bars and you just got like this little stamp,
Yep.
but
Yep.
you had to drink a beer. So get a
Yep.
stamp, get a beer. By the end of it, I was like, and we'd always stop at Gurley's to have dinner, and then we would keep going, and because we wanted to get our T-shirt.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So Bearded Zebra says, I used to work in the factory that makes the Skechers. Oh, no, Etch-a-Sketches. Well, that's pretty cool. But they make them overseas now, and the actual factory is local. But the actual factory is local. Oh, interesting. Etch-a-Sketches. Do you remember those? That's
How can you
crazy.
forget them, man?
Yeah, that
That's
was
some
like
sort
the
of
thing. My sister got one, and I think I took it over.
fun. Yeah.
It's good times. Yeah. So
I also took
you,
one of those things.
yeah. So what are you trying in now? What are you reviewing? Are you,
Um,
um,
kind of doing a little bit of everything, man. I enjoy reviewing it, the brushes, and just doing like small little, like, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Commercial like videos,
oh, cool.
just fun little stuff like that.
Ah, that's
Just
fun.
doing it
And
for you.
yeah, I've been, so my claim to trying to do little commercials that are like those 15, 30-second videos things are those little TikTok videos.
Yep.
Because I try to throw a little bit of, because I was just doing this like what's in your beard thing, and I got a little bit of response, and I do get response here and there, and then the algorithm changes all the time. So then I would get like, I went from like 60 likes a day when I had like only 1,500 followers to now
Hmm.
I'm sitting over 2,500, and I get like 16 views because the algorithm is so
You know, so
weird.
Instagram, it's like really your first 2 hours. You got to find the right time to like when your viewers are online. And if you get nothing within like those first 2 hours, it just stops showing your posts to
Yeah,
the people who follow you. So if nothing happens, your post just dies right there, and it doesn't
right.
explode.
Yeah, that's why you have to go. So I found this, what is it called? It is, no, Planner is the one that has it. Hang on. I'm trying to remember which one I had. But there is a one where it tells you when to post.
Okay.
And you'll have to find it on your app, but it tells you when to post. I'm trying to find which one. No, it's not that one.
See, I just went with a business profile,
Oh,
and it
did
tells
you?
me, yeah,
Oh,
and I
see,
just
I didn't do
yeah,
that. I went with so the business profile helps you. Oh, okay.
gives you all the analytics of when your viewers are online.
Oh, maybe I'm gonna have to go
What
check
days
that. Was
are
it? How
you?
much was it?
It's free, man.
Oh, is it free? I have, maybe I did check it out. I don't know if I
You just
set
gotta
mine
log
up.
in.
I set mine up a while ago, but maybe I'll have to go look at that because that is when to post. That's the name of this application,
Mm-hmm.
and it tells you when you should post,
Mm-hmm.
and then like it tells me like right now I should be posting in like 32 minutes.
Right.
And so
See,
it gives you
mine.
like 3 times a day to post, and then you can use
Mhm.
Planner to
Yep.
actually plan your post automatically.
Yep.
So that's pretty
See,
cool. Have you ever used that?
planner.
Yeah.
I I tried using it, and then I would wake up the next morning to see if it nothing.
Yeah,
There goes
so I
that.
was talking to Blackbeard Trading Company like a couple weeks ago, and I think he uses that, and so it must be some sort of tech secret thing
Mm-hmm.
that gets it to post automatically because I haven't been able to do much with it. I
Yeah,
just,
I just
because especially at work, I don't want to post stuff at work,
right.
so just having something ready. I try to
Mm-hmm.
do like 2 or 3 posts. I try to do Andy's like thought of the night thing if I can get
Mm-hmm.
to it, which is like a
Mm-hmm.
posting that's kind of like about what I'm also a meditation teacher. So try to post something
Right.
positive, keep people in a positive space, maybe thinking about something,
Right. See, for
and
me, I was always trying to post what I'm trying to show off. I do those black and white photos with my product and color,
oh,
kind
cool.
of make it stand out a little bit better,
Right,
so people
right.
know what I'm trying to show off.
See, haven't you so that's the side product of this, huh? The
Hmm.
videography and the photography stuff, and you start getting into the software and all the stuff behind the scene, nobody knows. So when they talk about what it takes to be a reviewer, you have no idea what it really takes because
Hmm.
you have to have some sort of equipment. You can't
Hmm.
have, I mean, you can have an iPhone for a while.
That's all I got.
Um,
I just got my
yeah, and
Samsung,
there's
man.
nothing wrong with that. There's lots of YouTubers that are doing it, but slowly, like
Hmm.
I upped my game to a different webcam because I
Hmm.
really didn't like the way that my laptop was working.
Right.
And then you get, and then I took away from the iPhone, which I have actually. My iPhone is probably better than the GoPro that I have. I started doing my unboxing videos with my GoPro
Hmm.
because I just at least it had a tripod with it. My wife got some GoPro that had a bundle with it, so I got one with a tripod. But then you start just expanding, and I know like people like Dan who have the Snowball, which is that big white microphone
Yep.
that he has.
Yep.
It picks up, and then you find out that you need different types of mics for different types of environments.
Yep.
Like you have the shotgun mic that's going to be there so you can point it directionally at you talking on your video, and then you
Hmm.
have the ones where like I get this little headset
Hmm.
because you couldn't hear me and it started having a lot of reverb if I tried to do it through my laptop's microphone and speaker.
Hmm. Yep.
So yeah, it's just crazy. And then the videography, like you're saying, or the photography piece, I love doing that. What are you using for post
What do you mean, like
or
as
your
far as?
post production? So after you take the photo, what are you using to go into post?
I use an app called Snapseed.
Oh, yep, yep. That's a
That's where
good
I
product.
do a lot
Yeah.
of my
Have you been able to play
editing.
with a lot of those settings outside of, so you've been doing black and white, and then
Yep.
are you doing a lot of those like exposure and then
I'm starting to play more with that. I try to stick with not messing with settings too much and kind of leave it original and just put the black and white with
nice.
leaving product in color.
That's cool. That's really cool. I
I seem like
do.
that black and white color just stands out a lot from the crowd.
Yeah, I agree. I've been doing Lightroom, which
Mhm.
is Adobe's,
Yep.
and
Yep.
I really like it. I started actually, what's actually really cool is the iPhone's new editing app has a lot of those same settings. So if you are in a hurry to get
Hmm.
something out, you can mess with those really quick and pick a default,
Yeah.
and then you're off you go.
Yeah. A lot of the times I'll get off work and I'll just brainstorm on stuff I can do. And then I'll go take a couple quick pictures here and there, and then they won't turn out right, and I'll do them again, and put them in
That's
the
awesome. That's
editing
awesome.
app. Off
Now, are
I
you
go.
doing a lot of context where you're doing like, or contrast where you're like, hey, here's my item that I'm taking a picture of, and then maybe you'll have something in the foreground, maybe something in the background that kind of goes along with the product?
I feel like that's really hard with beard beard products because it's not like unless you got like badass beard killer who's got their brush and comb and scissors and what all their product line. If you get like a small batch company who doesn't have all that, you get
Right.
cheap products.
I was trying to do, and I kind of went away from it. And I was thinking about it. I saw this video the other day about, I've been actually watching videos on photography, how to do better photography.
Hmm.
Um, and I originally, when I was, especially with Dodge City, we're from Arizona, right? So I have a bunch of cowboy stuff.
Hmm.
So I have the hats, I got I went through this cowboy phase for a while, still kind of am, but so I had my boots. I took a picture with my boots in it, some belt buckles that I had. I have like a collection of belt buckles.
Hmm.
And then I took some pictures with those with Dodge City because their theme is Western. So I was thinking I could go with themes, but most companies I'm running into don't really. I mean, some of them don't. I couldn't figure out anything to go with Maine. Like, hey, here's this
Right.
cool logo. It's in Maine.
Yeah.
I'm in the desert.
Right. And I try to find creative ways, and sometimes it's hard just taking pictures on your bathroom counter, or
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's pretty basic stuff. So,
I agree. And
so
that's where I
and
saw some of your photos the other day. You had some that were outside.
yeah, yep. I always
Yeah.
try to think. I've learned that people like pictures with your face in it.
Oh, I think you're right. And Instagram really likes it too.
Hmm.
Like
So
it
if you're
has
looking,
facial recognition on it, and if you take a picture, because they know that people are using Instagram for ads, but their preference is to have people in it,
hmm,
doing things.
hmm,
And so they'll pick, and actually their facial recognition software, their machine learning piece will actually pick out faces and try to promote that more than they will just product pictures.
right. So I think people also like to. I don't want to say look at our face, but rather see a product in someone's face than just a product in a bare table or
Yeah, I
counter or
think you're
whatever.
right. Yeah, because I think it identifies, kind of like, hey, I can identify with that person. They have a beard
Right.
like me. They
Hmm.
maybe look a little bit like me. That's a good
Right.
thing.
I like his beard. I like the style of his beard.
Yeah, that's always cool. So Mr. Bearded Zebra says most cameras pick up faces or other recognition instead of multiple.
Give me
Okay.
1 second here. I gotta go grab my charger for my phone.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Give me 1 second here, boys.
No problems. Mr. Bearded Zebra, what do you mean by that? They pick up faces or other recognition instead of multiple. Oh, I get what you're saying. So it's the way they're focusing. So that's what I've kind of liked about some of the new features on the iPhone was the fact that it has auto on it, the auto face recognition, and actually you can pick it up and then you can say, hey, here's where I want the picture to be focused in on, and you can press it down there, and then it will keep the focus on that item the entire time. Hey, it's Mr. Beard Swag. Thank you for joining, Mr. Cribbs. How are you?
All right.
We got Mr. Beard Swag in the
Hey,
house.
welcome, Swag.
Yeah, he's a good
I can't
guy.
see
I
any of these
really enjoy his
riddles.
videos.
I can't see any text. My first time doing this, so
Oh yeah, so it's on YouTube. So if you go to
yeah,
YouTube, which you can't because you have a phone,
yeah,
so I'll read them out. How about that?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of cool that that's what's kind of cool. I love hanging out, just chatting, because especially with I have not done. I think all of mine except for with my sister. I've done it with done an interview because I'm doing it like as a review. That's
Hmm.
like the final thing you go through, right?
Yep.
And so I have really, what I really enjoy is watching other people's videos. I like your videos. I really like Mr. Beard Swag. If you guys have not seen his channel, he has a great unboxing channel, and then he's always on Instagram as well. Positive messages, always very upbeat. I like even the ones where he's at work, where he's just kind of chatting. He's, he has all the Beard Swag stickers hanging around.
Yeah,
good times. That's just really good stuff.
Which ones do you like doing more, the unboxings or the actual review?
So, my interview style, I don't do reviews per se. I do the unboxing and then I do the interview. Both are unique and different. I think me and my son do the unboxings together. So we just have a blast doing them. And that's the thing that I said, if I'm going to do this, I'm not going to make it. The first few I tried to make with just me in front of a camera.
Yeah.
I hated it so much that I was just like, I can't, I'm not going to do this. I have a couple videos out there still, that my first few videos that are me sitting in front of a camera. But I enjoy doing it with my son because I interact with him, and that's so much easier to do, believe it or not, as you well know, sitting in front of a...
It's weird staring into a screen trying to talk to your camera, basically.
Right, so that's what you're doing. Yeah, you're like, hey, people that are future people that are going to view this, I hope this is good. And then when you look at it, you are your worst critic. So I enjoy doing these because then I just don't, like, once I do them, I'm done. Once I do I've done some more editing now on the unboxings. I got a better suite. I got actually a free software called OpenShot, and it's a Windows app that will let you do all the video editing, and you don't have to pay so much money. Because I was going to get Adobe Premiere.
You should look at Power Director.
Oh yeah, is that okay? I know what you're talking about. Is that what you have on your phone?
Yeah, because I don't do any of my editing on a computer. Everything's on my phone.
Yeah, I think, you know what? I think somebody else I know is doing it that way. And I also had whatever the iPhone's iMovie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basic, but it works. I have an iPad as well, so I was doing a lot of the editing on the. But now that I have this Photoshot or this OpenShot, it has completely changed the game. I just edit it, and it has like 6 different channels up to more. You can overlap things immediately. I mean, it's so quick and easy that I'm just like, oh, great. I made the mistake a couple days ago of I'm doing a collab with Tex from Barn Brand Beards.
Okay.
And so he sent me something, and then me and my son opened it up. We started smelling all the scents that we were getting, and I got his emo the Bearded Guys collab with him. And I was like, oh, here I am. And then I started smelling the stuff that I got from him, and I was telling people what it was. And I'm like, wait a second, this is a collab. Nobody's supposed to even know about this. So then I had to fast forward it.
Yeah. Well,
I was like,
the nice thing with Power Director is you can just cut that out directly.
Oh, see, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I see. I did that, but I wanted to be funny.
Right.
I wanted to be like, hey, look. Oops, sorry. And then I had like a little thing of, this is top secret, overlapping it.
That's cool. That's how we be creative too, to make sure stuff like that doesn't slip, or even our stuff, that, like you said, our worst own critics, just fast forward or erase it directly,
Yeah, I spent, I think your first few videos, it seemed like days. And then when I looked at the ending product, it was still bad. So I'd still, like, I remember watching this video, it said, if you are just submit content, make it okay and doable, but you can't be a perfectionist on this, or you're going to be crazy and it will never be good enough.
Well, see, I watched a video too, and I was saying pretty much the same thing. You got to start somewhere. And if you don't start producing content now, what's going to keep you from producing content in the future?
Right. And you don't learn. And so Mr. Beard Swag says, I only use my phone as well, never edit, but probably should, but it's so hard. And I totally agree with you. That is the first videos that you do, you are nervous and you cut out stuff and then you re-edit it and you're constantly doing hitting the undo. And I got, I now have, it's been what, 6 months, maybe a little bit shorter, but it's been a bit now of me starting the journey of being able to get into this space. And so now it's a lot simpler for me. And now that I got I got a good thing that I like to use. And that's the big thing is like for your phone, you got the, what was it called?
Power Director.
Power Director. So Power Director, which is free, right?
I think it's like $5 if you want the pro version.
Oh, that's awesome. And yeah, it's probably worth the pennies for the pro.
Yeah.
But it's amazing what $5 will get you. I'm always amazed by that. I'm like, I could try to do the freebie with all these commercials in it, or I could spend $2.
Yeah. And Power Director, I can put in multiple clips, and then I can go back and pause, play, cut out clips from it. I can add picture in picture,
cool.
titles, songs, all that stuff. So.
See, that's what's cool. And then that's the creative stuff that's really kind of, and when you, from day one, what's funny is that I was just thinking about Beard Swag's comment. Some people are just really naturally good at this and they don't really edit much. I am not one of those people, but I wish I was. Yeah, so Beard Swag saying he needs it. Yeah, I would highly suggest. And honestly, Beard Swag, I'll be honest with you, it is totally kind of just a fun thing to do. It's something new to add to your repertoire. It's kind of like the videography becomes part of what reviewers' tool set.
I think that's what differentiates you from someone else, doing reviews or stuff like this,
Totally agree. And I think that that's what really, I started doing like this hard rock theme when I first started. And then my sister said, not everybody will identify with hard rock. So then I kind of cut it out. And now I'm starting to add different ideas for music involved. So, and I bought that Epicure. It's a company that has all of the music that's royalty free.
Okay, because I know on YouTube there's that no copyright sounds, but it's mostly like dubstep and hardstyle and stuff like that.
Right.
But it's all copyright free. But you can download it off of another site.
Oh, yeah. So Epicurium, I have to go find the name. It's Epa something. Hang on. I have it on my browser here. Hang on. But they are who I do. Epidemic.
Okay.
And they have you have to pay for it. It's like $10-15. But their royalty-free music is vast. I mean, it's millions of clips. And then they have sounds as well where you can go add, breaking glass, whatever, into your, That's totally cool. Fun. Yeah. Yeah, I think I completely agree with Beard Swag. I like it's very therapeutic. I think it's totally fun.
And like you said, some of us are naturals at it. Some of us takes a little more time to feel comfortable in front of the camera. And then also, our viewers who watch it regularly are here for our personality.
I totally agree with you. And I think that's the one thing. And your personality, I don't think comes out in day one.
No.
You're so nervous in day one. So it takes, I would say it almost takes 2 or 3 months before you feel comfortable enough to be able to do these. I still get nervous in front of doing these interviews. And I've been doing, I mean, I don't have a ton of videos out, but I still have, 20, 30.
See, I started doing these videos without me talking in them just to get in front of the camera, just like a basic, if you go back to my earlier videos where it was just like morning routine. I didn't say a single word or anything, but just being in front of the camera, doing just basic stuff.
I think that's huge. And I think that's the big getting comfortable. And I think actually almost every single one of us that's currently in the, that's currently in this as a reviewer. And I think that's exactly what you have to do. You have to feel comfortable. Some people, I mean, I swear that I watch Dan, I mean, Dan just gets on, and he definitely has command over what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I've noticed that there's a number of really good teacher reviewers. Joe, Barbadoe Joe, another teacher. Dan's a teacher, and they just have a really good command of being able to speak in front of other people already.
Right.
Then they probably went to college for it. Probably do it for a living. But it's amazing to me that some of us other ones, it takes a little bit, but what I've seen, you start getting your style. Like that's what I was thinking about Beard Swag, is he's the same way. His style has developed over time, and you can see that he just feels a lot more comfortable in front of it. Very fun, and I know that a lot of guys that I talk to think the same thing. So yeah. And so yours has been coming, so that's really cool that you've been feeling comfortable. And then now, where are you at with? So are you doing a YouTube? Are you doing podcasts? Where are you at with your reviews now?
Everybody knows me on Instagram, so I've just been sticking with Instagram.
Cool.
I've got a YouTube, but I'll just upload all my stuff that I have on Instagram to YouTube.
No, cool. So you're doing IGTV?
Yeah.
Cool.
Because everybody knows me on there. I ain't got nobody on YouTube, And I'm not trying to promote it too much.
Yeah. Dan is amazing source of inspiration. Yeah, I completely agree with you. One of the best. And I really hope people pay attention to intros and outros, because some people say that people don't. You know what? That's a total truth. So I started adding intros. Have you started adding a little bit of intros into yours?
I have, and I go back and forth, man. I go back and forth. I put a couple in, like, I don't know if I like that or if the people like that, so I take them back out. And then I think of other ideas.
So I've seen Dan kind of play with them too. I started doing intros and then outros, and then I was like, what am I gonna do with these? And then I really was just like, I'm gonna do the no format. I had a helper, actually my brother, but he's just in school now, so it's just really hard to get his time. But he's going into school for videography, and so he had all the equipment. And so he did just like a little 5-second poppy thing that he did with Adobe Premiere. And I was like, that's really cool. And that's what he told me. All you need is something to just be like, hey.
Yeah.
And then that's it. And I think Faithfully Bearded started doing a little bit smaller ones. I believe that Dan started doing, depending on his videos.
Right.
I think.
Yeah, I've started playing with them a little bit. I still try to create them. I just don't put them in videos. I'm just trying to see what I like.
That's good.
That's
the way to do it. That's the way to do it. I think that if you can find what your style is, because this is about your niche, and it doesn't necessarily have to be everybody's niche. And it's
right.
I think that's very important to remember for anybody who's new reviewers, is that this is about finding your space, and you may never get, 20,000, 250,000 followers on Instagram or YouTube, but it's about being passionate about what you're doing here. I love to review beard products. I love getting in front of and telling people about good companies, especially like these little crazy small finds that's like treasure. That's what I like doing. Like we were talking about Bearded Lads, which is a company out of Phoenix. And no idea, the funny thing about them, you know who Joey Boy is, right? He's a Phoenix DJ. So he's a part owner. So they're both, the Bearded Lads are Joey Boy and then his partner. And his partner is like the guy, is the lad, he's kind of making the products in the back. And and Joey Boy is a local celebrity for people who are, because he's a local, he does a morning show in the morning.
Okay.
So for some DJ. And so my wife had heard about them and said, Andy, you need to go down there. So I go down one Saturday, and there they are sitting in this. So it's off of Indian School and like McDowell.
Okay. Yeah.
Kind of, you know where that is? It's like kind of off the 17 in between the airport or next kind of closer to the airport. And it's not the nicest area, honestly. It's an okay area. It's not bad, but I definitely wouldn't hang out there a lot. And so, not to bring down the bearded lads, because I really like, but you go into this place and it's like a speakeasy. Like they've completely, it's next to it's like next to a Wendy's. Then there's this barber shop, and then you go in and it's like this little side room, and it's their lounge. It's the bearded lads lounge, and it looks like a speakeasy.
Huh.
They'll hang out with you, drink a beer with you. I don't drink, but they'll drink a beer with you. He'll explain his products, and then that's just kind of the cool vibe that he has going on there.
Huh.
And they'll do it like every Saturday. But I didn't know who this guy was. He's like, oh yeah, Joy Boy, great. I said, my wife really likes you, and I got a free shirt.
Right.
And then my son went crazy. He's like, you met Joey Boy? What? I have pictures with Joey Boy, and I'm just like, hey, it's a cool beard company.
Right.
And they have decent. We talked about this, so they have really good oils. They don't have any balms, really. They have that one that's like a sandalwood.
So I got their oil, which was that Sea Breeze, I think it was.
Right, Cali Breeze.
Cali Breeze, and then their balm. They both smelled the same to me.
Oh, okay.
Which was really weird because it was a sandalwood scent, but I put both of them in and I couldn't tell the difference.
Oh, well, maybe that's a good thing because I didn't know that. I thought they just had a sandalwood, and I was like, they don't have matching balms, and I haven't checked them in a bit. But yeah, you have a good one, Beard Swag. Thanks for joining us. We really appreciate you being on.
Thanks, bud.
He's off to make some dinner.
Oh,
yeah, he's a good guy. Thanks for joining, buddy. So it's interesting because I went down there a second time. So my son insisted on going down, and I was like, I have all their products. Right. They only have like 5. They only have like 5 oils. Well, the cool thing is they have pomades. So I got some pomades, and I had kind of been into doing some stuff with pomades for a while. So I was happy to go down there. I had already they have one that is a strawberry tobacco that, I kid you not, is exactly like Sinatra from Boston Mike. Yep.
Huh.
It smells like identical. And when you put them together, it's an awesome, because you got the hair stuff for it and the beard stuff going for it. It's that strawberry tobacco. It's awesome. Yeah. And then, so my son goes down there. He lost his crazy mind. Like, he's 11, and he thought he was so starstruck. It was unfunny. He's like, Joey Boy. He's like giving him a hug, and he's like, didn't know what to do because he's in front of a celebrity. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't even know who this guy is. So I had to go look him up. The last time that I went down there, I'm like, oh, I guess he is a celebrity in Phoenix.
Huh.
And now he's like, he has, 25,000, 50,000 Instagram followers. He has, yeah, he's like, and you can go down there and just hang out with any Saturday. Like, that's hey, cool, yeah, it's kind of cool. And we got some pomade for his hair, because I was like, well, at least we can get some product for your hair. We hung out, got a free T-shirt.
Right.
But you know what? The experience was cool. The speakeasy is, you would not expect that for that area, that you would just walk into something so cool. And I think that's cool. Another one of my favorite, honestly, this was a surprise, is Morning Mist Soap Company. Have you talked to her at all? Yeah, no, I did a YouTube with her. Yeah, she's down here too.
Yeah, I've seen that.
She has amazing products, a little bit higher end on the price. Like if you were to do the Dan C, she's more on the $3 sign. Okay. But she did a creosote smell. So creosote, there's the bush down here. So when it monsoons down in Arizona, you can smell that distinct smell. It's like very few places in the world smell like that, and it's amazing. And she makes Yeah, so she does. So she has the experience of being able to make her own tinctures, and so she makes her own oil out of it. So
Mhm.
she does some stuff to she boils the leaves and then puts it into another oil so that it comes out into the oil,
Huh.
and then she makes that oil and mixes it into her beard products.
That's. I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
go check her out. I like these
complex.
local companies.
Yeah, she is definitely, and I kid you not, one of the nicest people you'll know.
Hmm.
Super nice, has and very down to earth. But she also is on her game with her soap as well. So she is a soap master as well, and she makes this. It looks like half of an egg, and one side of it has like stuff to help kind of scrub. And I can't remember the name. Why am I missing the name? One of those things that helps scrub skin off. Exfoliator. So it has
Oh,
like an exfoliant layer on the bar itself,
hmm.
and it will help you can the skin, and then it has like a kind of a really nice lather, but it kind of leaves a nice like lotion soap type of thing.
Right. Huh.
Super good. I mean, it was my honestly, and this is I don't hype up too much stuff, but that stuff was one of the best soaps I've ever had.
I'm gonna have to go check her out now.
She is, and she's definitely the soaps are like in the $7-8 range. But definitely worth a shot because
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. And she's local again. So that's,
Right.
yeah, you could probably talk, you can talk Phoenix or talk Arizona with her. So she's pretty
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, definitely check
That'd
her
be
out.
awesome.
She's a smaller company. She's in my opinion, she's getting a little bit bigger. She's definitely getting into some shops in Phoenix,
Hmm.
which is
That's
really
good to know.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and then she has some really crazy, there's a few companies out there that I will say are just mixologists.
Hmm. Hmm.
Tex is one of them from Barn Brand Beards. That guy is like a wizard. I think that most of these companies honestly are. Boston Mike is a really good wizard. I mean, he just pictures it. Barbu
Yeah.
Company, Abraham. I don't know. Have
Hmm.
you ever tried Barbu?
I have not.
Oh man, do you got to get on that?
Really?
Unique. He's complex and they're unique. Every single one of his products are unique. I did 2 live streams with him. I did a live stream with him before he released the Shaman, and then after he did the Shaman.
Okay.
And the Shaman is a historically he's using historically based religious spiritual sense. I would
Hmm.
say spiritual sense. One is frankincense, which is kind of a Judeo-Christian smell from Mideast. He's also
Right.
using Nag Champa, which is another kind of a Buddhist Indian kind of incense
Hmm.
smell that's used in their temples. And then he's also using Palo Santo, and that is a Native American scent that's used in
Okay.
a lot of rituals there. And just really good. And then the Governor, he has one called the Governor that is exceptional. He has like themes with all of them.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's what I like. And he's a teacher as well, and so he teaches art. So
Hmm.
he's one of those people that he fits right into him. It's just like it's part of, and he's very soulful about it. He makes really great videos. I don't know if you've ever seen his videos, but they're really good videos as
Hmm.
well. Him and his wife do it. So it's like they do these videos, and it's like when he was doing the Shaman, he was like, looks like he's in some sort of like jungly area, or no, he was in a temple, like a temple area. And it looks like it's all like very kind of a religious experience. And I really like it. And then he released something with Lux recently. They did a collab that was like
Oh, I think I've seen that. Yeah.
that $80 one. Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally great. I mean, I didn't buy it because I was like, that's $80. My wife would
Yeah.
kill me. But I totally wanted to because I really like Abraham and what he stands for as a company.
Hmm.
But the other thing is that it was $80. So yeah, $80 is a lot of money for one product. And I think it was just an oil. I don't even think it was a balm involved. So it was just really the oil, but it came in like a cool little round thing. But he did a video where he did like a 3-part video where
Oh
they're like
yeah.
Looks like he's going through the
Yeah.
jungle, and then he's digging in something.
Yeah, I've
And
seen
then
that.
he did the Lux box, right? So Lux has that box. He's done several of those throughout the time where he does like a nice little presentation for box.
Hmm.
Totally cool. I enjoyed watching that. And then I was I promote Barbu stuff as much as I can because I really like him as a company. So if
Right.
I try to do his reposts a lot. I'm like, this guy is insane good.
Right.
It's just different complex. And to do that, and the way that he tests them is like he sometimes will have something he'll do for a year and then he'll just rattle
Oh, yeah.
around and then he creates something. And I can't do that. So
So you got your list of beard companies that you want to try next, right?
yes, I do.
How do you go about going on that list? Do you go by like who's having a sale, or do you just go top to bottom?
This is what I do. And this is honestly, I don't have a huge list. I have some people, and I will see something that catches my eye for a story.
Hmm.
This all earthly, all things earthly.
Hmm.
Had a really cool picture of a guy next to a truck, and he was an older guy with a huge burly white beard next to
Hmm.
one of those like 1940s, 1950s Chevys.
Hmm.
And I was just like, that's cool. And then I reached out to her. I just purchased, and I actually started premium beards the same way. I was on a live stream
Hmm.
and I saw that he had had an earthquake, and so I started talking to him, and then I got into premium by WB.
Hmm.
Have you tried any of his stuff?
Like I said,
Yeah,
my
yeah,
list is like this long, man.
yeah. So premium is so Sean is honestly one of my favorite people. A legitimate, nice person. I've had hours worth of conversations with him on the phone.
Hmm.
And he is super nice. He has a side business where he does t-shirts. And that's where my wife got her t-shirts for her reunion last year, or no, 2 months ago, 3 months ago.
Hmm.
And so he's just a super nice guy. He made my logo for
Oh,
free.
really?
Yeah,
Right on.
the bearded meditator guy, he made that.
Yeah,
And he
that's
just said,
awesome.
"Hey, I made this for you."
That's
And
awesome.
so eventually I'm going to start doing, I'm hoping to get a little bit bigger, but I'm going to start offering him as soon as we can make a deal, just
Mhm.
selling my t-shirts through him. And so I've come
Yep.
up with some like cool t-shirt ideas for bearded dudes that are kind of in my sphere of, like meditation stuff. But then
Right.
I also have like just a brand one that I have for my channel just to
Hmm.
kind of, and I was thinking about doing like getting a bunch of those ordered and then handing them out with anybody who does an interview with me. Like, you've been part of the Bearded
Oh,
Practitioner.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. So I just see a story on Instagram. And so Hummingbeard Company
Hmm.
is my next purchase I just made yesterday.
Hmm.
And she is awesome, just an awesome person.
Oh
And
yeah.
I
She
start
was.
talking to them, and then they have a story that I want to see if I can frame that story into an interview.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you heard of Rockin' D Beard, right?
Oh, he's an awesome guy. Yeah.
Well, Hummingbeard was, well, the owner of it was helping promote Rocking D
Oh,
at one
cool.
time. I forgot her name, but
Danielle.
yeah, yeah. But I think she
Yeah.
went off to start her own company.
Yeah. And you know what? I have been talking to her probably maybe a little bit over, maybe a month, and she is super, super nice.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'm all about, and that's the other thing that I raised two girls.
Hmm.
So anything that I can find that empowers women or that really goes with diversity in any way,
Right.
I'm all about that. I mean, I know that, it's not always the way it is, and I enjoy hearing, but I'm a story guy,
Right.
or somebody that I know that I feel is a really good person like yourself. I said, you know
Yeah.
what? I like that guy. I talk to him all the time. Let's get him
Yeah.
on. And it's
That's
cool
awesome.
to be able to have that type of relationship. And that's what this bearded community is
Oh yeah.
about.
I feel like everybody in this community though is so open and welcoming.
I think so for the most part. I mean, there has been some drama, I call it the bearded drama. And I
Well,
get
they're always.
so tired of. I got so tired of it at the beginning. But I realize it ebbs and flows with that. I get really tired of the bearded people getting paid thing. I know Dan gets paid for reviews. I know Beard Times with Scott, but we know how much it goes into this.
Oh yeah.
If they want to take money and people are willing to do the exchange for money to be able to do that, so more power to them. If people want to just be hobbyists and this is just a hobby for them, that's fine too. We can all
Hmm.
live in the same world and all be just happy about where we're at in our niche. I'm
Right.
probably not going to make $1 million doing this, and I probably won't.
No.
No, this will never be a subsidy for my job. I make
Right.
decent money being an IT engineer. I don't really need to do this for money.
Right.
And I think you're the same way. We're doing
Hmm.
okay.
Hmm.
And I'm doing this because it's a passion job, just like Beard Swag was talking about.
Right. Right. Right.
So I don't feel like there's something that I don't need to have an ego about it. I don't
Right.
think that because I don't have 10,000 views already that I need to be upset. I wish I had 10,000 views,
Right.
10,000 people, but it's just,
Right.
maybe that's not in my cards. Maybe I'm just meant to have about 200 or 300 subscribers at some point,
Yes.
hopefully a little more, and just be kind of mellow and enjoy the ride,
You also again, you might find that one niche that you just hits it off, and you just follow that flow. It'll
That's what
get
you
you.
hope for, and I think that's why we do it, right?
Hmm.
Maybe something will hit, maybe it won't, maybe it will, but it's about the journey, not so much the destination for
Right.
me.
Like I know a lot of people like my beard butter, like nighttime routine videos. I
Oh
did it
yeah.
just for fun. It didn't get a ton of reviews, but I think people enjoyed them.
Well, also you think about it, we're also educating people.
Hmm.
Our job also is to educate people. So you're educating people about products, but you're
Hmm.
also educating people about how to take care of their beards, especially new beardsmen who, when you
Hmm.
walk into growing your beard and you say, "Oh, no beard, no shave November, I don't know what to do with this beard." It's really great to be able to go in and say, "Hey, there's a ton of videos about people who have
Right.
learned that how to use these
Hmm.
products and to help themselves grow a much more substantial beard that was really
Right.
something of that they're passionate about."
Hmm. So do you personally watch reviews on products then?
I do. That's how I started. That's the reason why I
Yeah.
got into it. So I still watch Dan's, especially his reviews. I don't usually jump on his live streams as much.
Hmm.
I will. I have this last week. I've kind of jumped on a couple, but not for very long. I'll jump off and jump on.
Hmm.
But I will watch all his reviews. Bearded, anybody else. Bearded Shark. I like Mo a lot. And I was actually on a couple of his live streams early on, like
Right.
maybe 3 or 4 months ago now.
Hmm.
So I did a meditation series with him for a couple of videos or live streams,
Nice.
and then yeah, I watch. Actually, I don't think there's anybody I don't watch, and I try to subscribe to as many people as I can. Like Bearded
Right.
Zebra, I've seen a couple of his shows.
Yeah.
There's yours that are out there now.
Hmm.
Anybody that I can see, because I'm always trying to throw positivity.
Right.
Hey, love what I see here. Find something that's maybe some good shots, maybe maybe good pictures, maybe some good way of advertising their product in a different way that somebody else hasn't.
Right.
Maybe even their stage presence, because I know how scary it is. But having people just kind of give you some positivity
Right.
is
Now,
huge.
now, for your reviews, do you like more like the opinion based on, say, scuba compared to the scientific teacher side of Dan C? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what I like to do is lately it's just been storytelling.
Hmm.
So I would say entertainment wise, I want people to
Like, how do you
connect
decide on
with
which
the owner.
products? Yeah.
But I do have my sister who, when we got on the screen, she is very much about the science side,
Yeah.
making sure that these are good for you natural products, not
Hmm.
some stuff that some guy made in his basement
Right.
that won't meet mustard. It's like some dangerous stuff.
Right. See, I kind of
Um,
go. I kind of go on both there. Like, I like opinion or Scuba's opinions on things.
he's
I feel
funny.
like he's tried a bunch of stuff. So he would know. Then I also like Dan C's side of where products lie, on the scientific and
Yeah, and I think Dan is one of those people that we're friends.
hmm
So I, but I also got into talking to him because he does have, this is the way it is.
hmm
Some facts, entertaining. His
right.
wife is super nice.
Oh yeah.
Sam, super nice
hmm
lady. So I got into what he was selling as a YouTube reviewer by just his passion for it,
hmm
and then also him telling people how to do it better. I wouldn't be on this beard game if it wasn't for him, honestly,
Right.
because his videos were so good. I remember I was like home like maybe February of last year,
hmm
and I just had the day off, and I just went through his videos all day. And it was just like he had tips in it. He had tips and tricks, and then he also had. So I like the tips and tricks.
Yep.
I also liked his product reviews. Another person that I really like was Beards and Banjos. He had that tips and advice series as well.
Okay. I don't think I
Do
ever
you know
seen this
him? Do you
stuff.
know Brian Hayward?
No,
His
it's not ringing a bell.
Yeah, so Beards and Banjos is another. He told me he's more focusing on his banjos section. So he does another YouTube channel with music. So he's kind
hmm
of a folk music, bluegrass. He plays the banjo.
hmm
And so he's more focusing on that side now than the bearded side.
Right.
But he had this beard advice, and I actually got this thing on beard advice.
hmm
But I like that because I like the tips and tricks, because a lot of new beardsmen don't know what to do. Like, what do okay, butter
Yeah.
when? Uh,
Yeah. What is it? Why?
Beard bomb when? And I really like the other day he had that thing for people with, or Dan had a retake, I think, of his how to get the curves and stuff out
Yeah,
of your
the
beard.
curls out of the jawline. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I think he's done a video, and he kind of has that ability that now I think he kind of looks back and then maybe redoes a video or two just to kind
Oh
of
yeah.
give it a new take on it. And
Yep. hmm
yeah, super nice guy. So you're going down your list. How are you picking yours?
My list is base. I got my top, like brands or whatever that I've heard and liked, and then it just kind of goes down from there. Here,
Cool.
like, build it down, and then I'll kind of go off of like sales
Oh,
on
good
the
idea.
because I'm kind of on a budget right now. So
Yep,
I'll
me
go,
too.
all right, well, 5 people down the list are having a sale, so I'll get them, and then
Yeah.
people top on the list will have a sale. So like Kingsman, their
Yeah.
oud oil, like I don't know, 2 months ago or 3 months ago, we're
Yep.
having that 50% off. I'm like, oh, can't beat that deal, man.
No, you can't. I got Dragon. I got the Holy Grail.
Yep.
And then I got
Yep.
a giveaway for his. Now I can't remember the name of it. I think it's Chainmail.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah. So one that has the Drakkar in it. What is that? Is that Chainmail?
That I
I
couldn't
have
tell you.
two products that are very similar. His is more cologne based anyway.
Oh yeah,
But they're really good. I really enjoy
yeah,
them. I enjoy the
yeah.
heck out of them.
Do
I
you just
tried
have
to
the
get
oils or
what?
the bombs? Do you have just the oils or the bombs?
So I went with, when I originally bought them in the summers, I just bought that 50% off sale during the summer, and I got a Dragon and I got the Holy Grail and just an oil.
hmm
Then I recently won a um, combo on the
hmm
bearded vlogger, and I won a combo from them, and their butter or their balm is good too.
It really
Have you
is, man.
tried? Yeah, very
Yeah,
good.
I got
It's
in on both their sales, so I bought just oil from Kingsman just to try them out,
mhm.
and then they had another sale. I'm like, I gotta hop on this, so I ended up buying the matching bombs to go
Yeah.
with them.
I think my favorite one. I mean, everybody's on the Holy Grail. It is an awesome oil, but and smell and scent. But I really like Dragon.
That dragon's good.
It's really super good. I was like, yeah,
Like you
that's
almost
like
don't want to
almost my
use it.
top. What?
You almost don't want to use it because it's so good. Like save it for special occasions. You know what I mean?
I totally get what you're saying. I was like, and then that's the funny thing. So I'm going through my stuff, and I'm starting to give my stuff away because now I'm realizing I'm
Same.
buying so much that I have to give it away or it's going to go bad.
Hmm.
Not that it'll go by at any time soon, but I just feel like I have way too much product,
Right.
and I'm not using it as fast as I can. There's just no way
Right.
you could do it. But with Kingsman, yeah, I don't even I haven't done a really big, huge review on them.
Hmm.
I talked to them maybe about 2 months ago, month and a half ago, and we kind of had a date for an interview, and then it kind of fell through. And I just said, maybe I'll just keep this for myself.
Right.
I'll do an unboxing. I know those guys are super busy.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll hit them up sometime later next year.
Yeah.
But I just really enjoy. There's some companies you just want to have for you. This is a
Yeah.
good product.
Hmm.
Beard Octane's another really good one that has a lot of good cologne scents.
Yeah. I was looking at their stuff today, and the stuff that I want to try is sold out.
Oh, what is
Their
it?
liquid, their liquid gold butter. Because like when I find a company, I like to buy all three: the butter, the balm, and the oil all together.
Yeah, I agree. That's where I'm
And
kind of going now. At least you can
if I
buy. At
can't
least I
buy
buy
them,
the combo.
yeah. And if I can't buy them all, then I'll usually just wait because I don't want to have not a complete set. I don't
Yeah.
know. I guess I'm weird like that.
No, well, especially with reviews, because you want to be thorough.
Right.
When I first started doing reviews, I knew that the Arizona summers, and I just was like looking for scents.
Hmm.
And I got into a few bombs here and there when I could, but now I'm really taking it seriously. So I will
Hmm.
get at least two of their products, and I will try to get at least one of those as a combo. A lot of people are selling samplers, so I can at least get the
Yeah.
smells that they have, the scents they have,
Hmm.
and I try to do something, find out if they're releasing something new,
Hmm.
and then I'll get a combo in that,
Hmm.
and maybe a combo and something that's more traditional, like whatever maybe their favorite seller is.
Right.
But I've run into most of these companies, and end up with 2 weeks worth of reviewing because, like this
Yeah.
All Earthly, I ended up with like 7 oils.
Yeah.
So you're like, I want to try them all, and I ended up with a combo, so I know how their balm, I know how their butter is. I got the butter.
Hmm.
I also bought a beard wash with them.
Yeah.
So totally, yeah, and it's totally really totally. It is really good to, I think, as a reviewer, to try as many of their product line as you can.
Well, you have to kind of at that point
Right.
if you're going to review it, so you can give your audience a full experience.
Right. And like I now am to the point to where I may not buy a ton of their product at once, but I will buy just enough to be able to review it to say I like their product line.
Yeah, I feel like if you can buy 1 cent of each oil, balm, and butter, at least you can say, hey, the butter, oil, and balm is good, or
Right.
the
I
butter
think you're
sucks
doing a
or whatever.
disservice if you're not.
Right.
Yeah. So it is getting, it's, believe it or not, it's like almost, it's getting to the 7:40 here. So anything that what's new on the plate? We got a few minutes, but my wife wants me to sometime get off. It's Friday night. But so what's new on the plate? What's going in the future? What's immediate? I know the holidays are coming up. What's going on?
I got some product coming in here, waiting to be reviewed. So I'm just kind of waiting for that to come in so I can try it and give you guys my thoughts on everything.
Very nice. Very
Um,
nice. Do you like doing the unboxing videos?
so initially, when I got into this, I didn't even want to get into reviews because there were so many people in it. But then I realized that I kind of enjoy doing this, and I think people like my personality, even though my first few videos were weird, or we were just talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
So, but kind of open up, and I enjoy doing those. So I kind of open up to that more. But unboxings, I don't know. I don't feel like people want to watch me open the product without
There
knowing what the product is actually like. They're more interested in, is it going to work, more so than, hey, he's opening Christmas presents all year long.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
So there is a market for unboxing. So and the only reason why I do the unboxings is because my son absolutely goes crazy with me.
Right.
And he's like the sidekick. He's more of the star than I am. So
Mhm.
he just like he now does a pun of the day. He's more excited than I am. He wants to grow a beard so bad. It's like, but you're 11, buddy. You're
Right,
11.
right.
You got some
I
time.
feel like if you got somebody to open product with, it'd be more exciting like you do. When it's just me, I'm like, here's the knife and box, and here's everything, and have a good night. You know what I mean?
There's for some reason people like to, if they can't buy it themselves, they get into this. I guess that's what it was explained to me, was that people get into opening things, and it
Right.
gives them that same adrenaline rush
Yeah.
that you
Hmm.
would get from unboxing it yourself, and then you don't
Hmm.
have to buy it.
Yeah.
That's why I
It's like,
like those they have tech gadget sites where it's just
right,
an
yeah.
unboxing of tech gadget.
See, I enjoy those.
Right,
That
right.
gadget.
So I
I feel
guess
like,
there's some people that do that love these too, you know. Hey,
yeah,
look what I got. It's
yeah. I think I like unboxing of like brand new products that people haven't seen before
Mhm.
because, well, you haven't seen it a million times already, you know?
Right, right.
Or
Totally agree.
so I'd probably do more of those, but as far as just general, hey, look, another beard oil.
Yet
Not
another
saying
beard
anything
oil.
wrong, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah. Yeah,
and
cool.
but also like if I'd order from a company before and their presentation was nice, then I might do an unboxing from another order that I got from them.
Yeah, right on. Right
You know
on.
what I mean?
Yeah, I totally know what you mean. That's fun. That is fun. And I enjoy when I get I have something in the mail right now at my mailbox from Premium
Hmm.
that I've ordered from him several times because he's just a really good guy and he's good products.
Hmm.
But I can't wait to go open it.
Right.
I
Right.
ordered. He had a 51% off
Yeah.
sale. I was just like, yes and yes. And my son was like, hey, my stepson Joey
Hmm.
took my shampoo again. I was like, oh, what a shame. I guess I'm just gonna have to go buy some more
Yeah.
premium.
Yeah. I guess I also have that problem too, where I can't hold off for a camera and I open everything as soon as I get home.
Yeah, that's true. It's exciting. It's like a kid in the candy store. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Get these open and smell them as soon as possible.
I totally get you. I tried to not. My first time when I started doing them, I was like, I have to hold on to these so I can do the
Yeah.
unboxing. And there for a while, I was sitting on some of this product. I had like 3 or 4 packages.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, I have to open them now. And then it'd be like, you get 3 or 4 unboxings right in a row. And I
Yeah.
at least split them up. At first, I was trying to do them on Instagram, and they just weren't going. It was just like, you couldn't save them. It was only like 24 hours. So, and my
Yeah.
son is so funny. My friends were like, hey, he really is the star of this show.
Hmm.
You should be doing stuff with him. You know, he
Hmm.
should be on your YouTube channel because he's
Yeah.
funny.
See,
Um, he,
yeah, I love that IGTV though, man.
that is really good, and I've really enjoyed that too. I've
You
done
got
a
to do it
couple.
in vertical though, instead of.
What?
I said you got to do it in the 9:16 instead of the what's the other format? The long
Oh, yeah,
video,
yeah, 4x3 or
because
whatever.
that's how most people view their phones.
Right,
If that
because they're
makes sense.
looking at it like this, and they're not looking at it like this.
Right.
Right.
So
I agree. It's kind of it's different because you're so used to it
yeah,
not being in that space.
you can't fit as much stuff in that view, but
Right, right. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah,
yeah.
but it's different. Actually I got on to Permafrost Beard Company's chat
Hmm.
yesterday on IG
Yep. Yep.
for
That's
a
cool.
few minutes. Yeah, he's a good guy. I really like him. I got onto his live stream yesterday, and then I had a live stream where I actually did an interview style thing on
Hmm.
his IG account as well.
I
Yeah, totally cool. I did it with him and his daughter. His daughter's just awesome.
think I caught part of that. I think I was there for a little bit of it.
Yeah, it's fun. He has really good products as well. He's another really great product owner. And I like all his story because he's ex-military. He has a lot of. I really love aviation, so he's an aviator.
Yeah.
So, and he was in the army. So my dad was military. So, yeah,
I
pretty
see a lot of
cool.
military coming into the beard community now.
I agree. There's a lot of ex-veterans. just coming on in. And Dodge City was another one that I reviewed that had ex-military, I think permafrost. Yeah, just a ton. And it's important. And I always try to, I think, what's interesting with Dodge City, I think I just was so nervous because it was like my second video I didn't say, but now I'm like, hey, tell me your story.
Right.
Tell me some stories that you can tell me.
Yep. It was like that first date.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm now,
Yeah.
because I did it one with my sister and it was just me and her and we did okay. And then the second one was Dodge City and it was all four of us and it was my first one and I was so nervous.
Yeah.
Good
That's cool
times.
though.
Yeah, it was totally good. Well, dude, I got to get out of here.
Yeah,
My
dude.
wife is, I could hear her scraping things on the ground
Yeah.
earlier,
Yeah. Yep.
saying, "Hey, maybe if I'm loud enough, he'll get out of there."
That's your call.
Yeah, so I do it. Where you do yours, you're doing your stream from your.
Just my couch right now, man.
That's comfortable. Yeah, I'm doing mine from my bedroom, but I have to like take a bunch of stuff and put it to make it not look like my bedroom.
Yeah. Otherwise, mine was going to be in my chair, but facing the kitchen. Like people don't
Yeah.
want to see that.
Yeah, it's good
So,
times. Well, thank you very much, buddy. It was nice
absolutely.
talking to you.
You as well.
Again, your handle is Bearded,
Yep.
and you have also a YouTube, but you're doing again mostly IG.
Yep.
But great talking to you. Thank you very much. We'll chat again, I'm sure.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, totally cool. I think that having a chat with some other guys doing the same stuff is always cool. And then we had some really good people coming in, so it was very cool.
Awesome.
We'll
Cool.
talk to you soon, buddy.
Yes.
And you have a good night. Have a good
You as well,
weekend.
bud.
Yep.
Later,
Happy
everybody.
holidays, buddy.
You too.
Take care.
You as well.